Okay, so what's the deal with indigo and why is it sometimes included in the rainbow and sometimes not? So as an art teacher for kids, I usually use 6 colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And often I'll have that one kid say, and indigo. And I'll be like, yeah, sure. This question comes up all the time. Is indigo one of the colors of the rainbow or is it not? And the answer is not that simple. That's because when we're talking about rainbows, we're not really referring to this. We're talking about this. It's an optical phenomenon that allows us to see the range of the visual spectrum of light. So it splits light into colors that we can see, which then becomes a really handy way of talking about and teaching colors to kids, which is why we refer to the rainbow so often, because in a way it organizes the colors for us. Now, that being said, it does not cut them down the middle like this with harsh lines. It's still blended because it's still a spectrum. So when we're talking about indigo, indigo is a range of shades that lie in between purple or violet and blue. Which means when you're talking to someone about indigo, sometimes they're referring to a shade like this, and sometimes they're referring to something more like this. So some people would consider this to be more of a violet, but some people might consider it to be more of an indigo. And some people might refer to this more as like a blue, but some people are referring to it more as an indigo. Because again, it's a spectrum between the violet and the blue. And indigo is kind of hard for people to differentiate between blue and purple, which is why indigo gets left out so often. Now, I don't teach it in my classes because it's not a color that we use very often to describe the color of things in the world the way that we do with purple or blue or orange. Now, the word indigo really comes from indigo dyeing. So the indigo that comes from these plants, this dye that comes from these plants. The reason that indigo has traditionally been included in the 7 colors of the rainbow has less to do with the color and more to do with the number 7. The scientist who established this kind of rainbow tradition that we refer to was Sir Isaac Newton, and he first established it as red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. But he then added orange and indigo to make it 7, mostly because of a mystical connection to the number 7. 7 planets, 7 musical notes, 7 days of the week. He even admitted his eyes weren't that good at perceiving color. And nowadays, what he called blue, we would call cyan, and what he was identifying as indigo, we actually would probably call blue.